Well, I hadn't had many medical problems or health problems up to my 41 years that I thought. Suffered a little asthma, but back in 2011, I had suffered from what I, blew off, for a while, and it progressed to the point where I couldn't ignore it anymore. So what happened was I collapsed one day, and that's when I started, getting serious about finding some help. And so I called my doctor, and we found out that my diagnosis was cancer, and it was stage 1 at that point. We went to Missouri Cancer Associates, found Dr. Schlossman, which has been great, and so started chemotherapy, July 27th, I believe it was, of that year, and went through 3 rounds of chemotherapy, and right at the end of my chemotherapy, I was in chemotherapy session and noticed some warping in my vision. And I went to raise my hand to take my glasses off, and I couldn't take my glasses off with my left hand. My left hand wouldn't do anything. And so they ordered a CT scan, and I went home later on that night. I went into a blindness spell where it looked like the pattern of a cow, and so they rushed me to Boone, and because of the stroke floor. They had a stroke unit here. We didn't have one in my hometown, and so they did all the diagnostic imaging procedures, and I had a stroke. And then 2 days later, following that, I fell into cardiac arrest in the hospital. The physicians, especially Dr. Schlossman, my oncologist, he treated me professionally. He didn't coddle me, and quite frankly, I didn't want to be coddled. So, and I think that's the professionalism of Boone. From the transporters to the front desk people, physicians, rehab techs, nurses, perfect. They made me feel at home. I wanted to feel like I was at home because that was my comfort level for so many years. That was where I was comfortable at. And they made me feel as comfortable as I could given the diagnosis. I've been cancer-free for almost 5 years. Next year will be my 5-year remission mark. That takes hard work, but I knew I could do it. And individuals out here that are going through the same thing, whether it's a diagnosis of a chronic illness or acute illness, or whether they're just going through something in life, because we know that happens to each of us, they too can and will get through it if they push hard.